Hi guys, welcome back. I decided to make a video to tell you guys the story and maybe give you some information you didn't know, or maybe you did know, but this one was definitely a first for me as a horse owner. I've had horses for probably 24 years now, and I've never seen this in my entire life. So I'll start from the beginning, but it's gonna end us up at the emergency vet for my horse Gunner. We were doing chores like normal, not a big deal. I went up top and was putting Jasper's hawk wraps on to help his legs so he's a little more comfortable. I asked Mark if he wanted me to watch the gate while he took the round bales in. He said that if I wanted to, I could. And sometimes our horses like to try to make a little escape. So I was like, yeah, sure. I don't have anything better to do. I'm just going to watch the gate. First red flag should have been Mark drives in with a round bale of hay, and Gunner is just hanging out by me. He loves me. He always comes and sees me for a treat. But when hay is coming in, this horse is obviously going to the bale of hay. He's not staying by me. And he was up with me and Scotch, and he was just hanging out with me a lot. And I was feeding some treats to Scotch and him and taking little video clips because the horses are cute, and why am I not taking videos of them all the time? And he never left the whole time I was doing these little video clips trying to feed them treats. And then Mark comes and he's doing the bale closest to where we are. And I'm taking video of Gunner, and I have to stop and help him with the round bale. And I was like, oh, I want to get one more video of Gunner before I leave. And I walk over, and he has a mouthful of hay from this fresh round bale, and he's not chewing it. And I was like, what are you doing, buddy? Because it was just sticking out of his mouth, and he was just holding this mouthful of hay. Then I hear him just grinding his teeth. He's not capable of eating this mouthful of hay at all. And I was like, are you grinding your teeth? So Mark finishes, and I call him back out there, and I'm like, does Gunner sound like he's grinding his teeth? And he's like, that's weird. And we decided to halter him, pull him in, and we pull him into the arena. And then it got increasingly worse from the pasture to in the arena. And we could just see him grinding his teeth. And you could hear it. It was so loud. I have a video of it, and I will insert the video in of him grinding his teeth. I'll put that in right now. So he's grinding his teeth, and then he starts to drool. And we thought that was super bizarre too. And I have a video of him kind of grinding his teeth, and then he's starting to drool in the video, and you can just see his eyes, and he just looks kind of sickly or pained or something. He didn't look like Gunner. Gunner's very happy-go-lucky, and he just looked blah. So I'll insert that video now of what he kind of looked like. So we have a regular vet we use for everything: goats, cats, chickens, everything, horses. So we decided to call him out for an emergency, but the guy that was on call is he's not a horse guy. He always says he just doesn't know as much about horses. He's great with the goats, phenomenal with the goats. He does great with the cats and dogs. He's just not that much of a horse guy. And we're kind of telling him his symptoms, and he's like, oh, maybe if you have bute or banamine, you should give him some, because a lot of times grinding of the teeth could be pain. Maybe the ground's frozen here. Maybe he hurt his leg or something. We're like, okay, yeah, we could try that. We have bute here. So we give him some bute, but I'm just I'm not feeling like bute is going to answer this. That if anything, that could just make it worse, because it could just cover up if it's not just a sore leg. So we let the bute, go into his system for a good 30 minutes or so and we go check on him. We have him in a stall now. And we're just like, that's done nothing. He's still drooling, still grinding his teeth, not eating, nothing. He won't drink water. And we're like, we have an emergency horse vet that you can go to, and it's a 15-minute drive. It's not our regular vet, but in this case, I wanted somebody that specialized in horses. We called them, and she said, yeah, if you bring him in, I can look him over, even if it's not like a huge deal. No big deal. She'll check him over and see if he's okay. So we load him up in the trailer and we take him to the emergency vet. And I've taken some notes so I can tell you all this because this is a crazy story. We get there, he gets unloaded, they put him in the stocks, and she starts going over everything. He had no fever. He had a normal heart rate. He had slightly decreased gut sounds, which obviously leans you towards thinking it's colic. He was extremely hydrated. Yeah, super hydrated. So obviously being dehydrated wasn't the issue. And typically you would think, oh, he's hydrated, he's not going to get like colic. But what she was thinking, or from what she could tell after the drawing the blood and checking him and doing a ultrasound on him, is that his small intestine was not working 100% correctly, that he had some degree of impaction colic. Basically, all his levels were like really pretty good. Like overall, he looked like he should be a really healthy horse, but for some reason, his small intestine was just not working correctly, and that was causing him enough pain to grind his teeth. Now we had to like set a game plan because obviously this horse is in quite a bit of pain, but she sedated him so he was comfortable. And her plan was she was going to push fluids into him all night long to hopefully get it through his small intestine to get it working correctly. We leave him there with her. He's in a nice warm barn, hooked up. I'll insert some pictures throughout the video so you guys can see him. She pushes fluids all night long. She's like, if I don't call, that's great. No news is good news. I'll call in the morning and give you an update. She said, I'll sedate him to keep him comfortable as he needs it. So luckily we get no call overnight at all. She calls us in the morning and says he's doing great. And she's going to slowly start getting him on some hay to kind of feed him up, make sure that his stool is passing properly, because he did have some dried stool and he wasn't passing like the ideal amount. And she said she'd call us around the evening time, and if he was doing good, then he could come home. Otherwise, we could do another night and keep monitoring him closer. So she did that all day, and night came and he was doing fantastic. So we brought him home. I think that I have a video of him getting loaded up. I put that up as a short, and got him settled into his stall, and I have a video of that I can put in.
Hey, handsome. You can definitely see where they shaved his neck, poor guy. But he definitely seems happy to be home. He's got his water. He should be good. And his water should be good tonight because these thermal buckets aren't supposed to freeze until you get to 17, and it's only supposed to get to 28.
And basically, he's really doing fantastic. We haven't had any other issues with him. We had to refeed him so that it could slowly work his system and not get overwhelmed. But he did great with that. He's been eating, drinking, passing plenty of stool, his happy-go-lucky self. And this is the craziest case of colic that I think I've ever seen. I've never seen in my 24 years, I've never seen a horse grind their teeth like he was grinding his teeth. And I never would have thought that that would have been the only sign of colic that this horse had. Thankfully, he knew to keep pestering me until I noticed his issue. That's pretty much the whole story, but I thought it would be fun to share just because I'd never seen that before. And if you're ever out there and you see a horse grinding their teeth, don't just assume that it's leg pain, because you never know. It could be a case of colic. And it's best to get him in right away, because a surgery for a colic like that, very expensive. So pay attention to your horses. Make sure they're drinking in the winter. Make sure they're eating, moving around, everything. Make sure they're healthy in the winter. Thankfully, Gunner's doing great. He now gets to be back out with his friends. So that's awesome. And I'm just so happy that we were able to catch this early and get it taken care of, because I just can't imagine not having Gunner around. And I hope he is here for many years to come. I have lots of other videos planned in the future. I was gone for a little bit just because of this Gunner situation. But now that he's happy and healthy, I'm going to be back to making some videos here shortly. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye!